Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, the 26th of February. In the Norse calendar, this day would be called Freya's Day. Yes, every day except for maybe Sunday and Saturday and Sunday, because I don't think they had Saturday and Sunday. It does not have a Norse deity name that contributes to the. In fact, I think Saturday, Sunday, and Monday they don't have a. There's not a Norse deity that contributes to the name of that weekday. I'm not sure if within Greek or Roman mythology that there was a deity that contributes to the name of a week. I do know that. Well, no. Saturday was for Saturn, or was it for Saturn, or I can't remember the name of the. I'm not familiar with Greek or Roman mythology. I know the basis and some of the deities for their mythology and whatnot, but I just don't know. I don't know much more than just tidbits of information. And those of you who are interested, no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be doing anything on the Greek or Roman mythology. Not because of the fact I have no interest in it. Well, no, I'll take that back. It's a lot because of the fact I have no interest in Greek or Roman mythology because I have no ancestral background to their teachings or their livelihoods. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust my camera. So yeah, the reason why for those who asked or thought about it, the reason why the tapestry was down for a period of time was we were transitioning we came in here to finish up the work that I started. We're not 100% done. We still have a lot of decorating and whatnot, but I am satisfied with what I have done right now, and I want to try to focus on getting Jeri-Ann's craft room cleaned up, straightened up, and start work on that. I know it seems a little weird not to have a room finished before you go starting another room, but here's the reason why. The reason why we didn't finish up in here because there's going to be one or two pieces of furniture that's in here that's going to be transitioned out, and we both decided that if we're going to transition out the one big piece of furniture, to downsize it and move it to a different room where we could use it more, it's better to wait until that gets moved around to finalize the decorating aspect. That way we can go through and clean up more and purge more and do a lot of things of that nature that will help make the room a little bit more I guess the words I'm going to use are gym friendly. I was actually in there in the craft room yesterday. We were in there moving some stuff out for Jeri-Ann to go through on a bigger table because her craft room table is not big enough for her to do what she wants to do. Now, she has been going through a lot of the stuff and deciding if she's ever going to use it or if she needs it or things of that line to take them out of the room and give them away to a friend or other people who might need them for whatever purposes. We do appreciate all the thoughtful gifts and items that we've received for crafting. For the most part, they have some of those items have been used. Some of those items have been put off for storage. I got a little upset yesterday when we were going through this stuff because she was talking about rearranging or doing some more stuff in here by bringing the stuff from in there to in here, and most of it's like stuff that's supposed to go in metal filing cabinet. There are like tools, extension cords, stuff like that. And my biggest concern, excuse me, my biggest concern when she wanted to put more in this filing cabinet was weight factor. Because this filing cabinet is very lightweight. It's not very strong or durable. It's aluminum, and when we had all the files in there before we cleaned them up and put them in the actual roll top desk where they belong, my biggest concern is weight and whatnot. And she's like, "Well, I'll come in there and look at it and see what I can do." And I got a little upset because the fact was like, combination of felt like I was being told that I don't do a good enough job organizing stuff, which in her eyes I don't to the fullest. In my eyes, I think I did a darn good job, but my combination of ego and pride was damaged, and I was upset. And I didn't I didn't take it out on her. I didn't get all uppity and mad with her. I just had to spend some time away. I just had to go into our bedroom and shut off the lights and just sit there and relax. What I ended up doing wasn't just relaxing. I ended up reaching out to some of her friends and family members. And granted, when I'm upset, my messages come out a little, I don't want to say disturbing, but details are kind of left out. I apologize. Yeah, I apologize for it, and talked to Jeri-Ann about it, and let's just say we ironed it out. But I did say we'll take a look at the tools that are still in the closet, in the craft room and whatnot, and see what we can do to bring them in here, because I think the only one tool that I can think of that we still have that's in the craft room is her dad's old jigsaw. I don't think there's two reasons why I don't want it in the filing cabinet. Is one, you can't really take the blade off, so I don't want the blade poking a hole through the drawer bottom. Excuse me, got the hiccups also. The drawer bottom or the drawer side. It's one of those things where I'm like, I don't want it. It's not that I don't want the jigsaw, because the jigsaw, we still use the jigsaw on a couple of different projects. But my biggest concern about the jigsaw is one, the wire that goes into the actual jigsaw is fraying and whatnot, and it's being basically held together by old electrical tape, which is starting to come undone over the ages. And two, not that I don't want my father-in-law's old tools, because I had or have some of my father's old tools. So it's kind of like one of those, but my father's old tools are not electrical tools like a jigsaw. They're just like a couple hammers, a bunch of old Craftsman screwdrivers, things like that. But I'm just kind of like, one, we hardly use it. Two, it's getting old and frayed unless we can take it to an electrician and have an electrician put a brand new cord on there. But it's one of the few tools that we actually use. In fact, I'd like to sit down with the tools that we have and talk to Jerry, because I personally think there is at least one set of tools, an electrical screwdriver and some of the parts for it. We don't hardly use it, so what's the sense of having that and a DeWalt? That, in fact, my wife prefers DeWalt over Craftsman. I like Craftsman tools, except for their electronic tools, their electronic screwdrivers and whatnot, because the tools themselves, the old screwdrivers that I have, are guaranteed for life. So if I break it, I can send it into Craftsman and get a replacement. Thing is, I see less and less Craftsman nowadays. Like, Craftsman is no longer a company that's in operation anymore. I don't know. I don't go out and buy tools if I don't need them. Mom had bought the Black & Decker thinking she'd use it for herself, but when she tried to use it one day, it was too bulky for her. So I ended up keeping it. Why, I don't know. Yesterday I did, or not yesterday, well, the other day I put a video, one of the Viking read videos, and I got a message. Well, I want to tell you about all the messages. I'm not going to tell you the exact wording and whatnot, but I received this morning at least 2 to 3 messages giving me a, continue with the Viking reading. Why was my last video so short? Things of that nature. And I was like, well, I've been trying to keep some of my videos short because I don't want them to be long and drawn out. Even though I probably could have kept on going for at least another 15, 20 minutes on that video. But I kind of noticed that some of my videos, when they're too long, people either don't watch the whole thing or lose interest. There was a new name on my list of people, list of comments, and that particular person has already been basically removed from my channel because the negativity coming off this person about I should stop reading because of, I do better with talking videos, and I took it 2 ways. I took it as in the particular material that I was reading. I've tried to explain this before. If I have never read a material from cover to cover, I have a hard time reading it to other people because of my learning disabilities. Yes, I'm 49 and I still struggle with reading, especially reading out loud and trying to talk about it at the same time. Now, am I going to stop doing it? No. The comment was removed because of the fact, like I said, of the negativity from it. I'm not going to feed into it. I'm not going to allow it to sit there and have people basically feed into it. I know there was one person who actually, and I could not tell if the person was being sarcastic to the original comment or trying to be sarcastic in a way that was towards me. If it wasn't towards me, I'm sorry for receiving it that way. But one of the biggest reasons why I did not like New York was the factor of the sarcasm, even though it wasn't supposed to be mean or anything like that. But sarcasm to me is something that just could be left out of the human equation. And what was upsetting me the most about it was the fact that I started becoming sarcastic in a mean way. Take for example, I'm just going to give you an example of something that happened when my last year being in New York. Now, I don't make fun of people because of their physical appearance, their psychological disposition, or any of their disabilities. In fact, I think people who have certain kinds of disabilities should be treated with a little bit more understanding and whatnot. And I know I have some issues with that sometimes myself, but I think that's just because of my frame of mind. Excuse me for 1 second. This room is a south-facing room, and even though it's only in the 40s, it's only supposed to get up to 46 today. I think it's already hit its high. I noticed that there was a bunch of clouds, dark looking clouds, like it could be rainy. But anyhow, that's the opposite. Well, that's a different subject. My last Thanksgiving when we were there. Now, I just told you I don't really make fun of people because of their physical appearance, if they have physical issues, psychological issues, or whatnot. My in-laws, just to give you a brief history. My in-laws, and anybody who's watched my wife's videos knows, just by watching her videos, most of my in-laws are big boned. One or two of them are morbidly obese, and I feel for them because that morbidly obesity could be not only physically hampering with like movement, muscle strength, things like that, but people who are morbidly obese have a higher risk of cardiac disease, one thing or another that has to do with their obesity. My brother-in-law, for instance, my older brother-in-law, he is morbidly obese. He gets problems with gout and other different issues because of his size. I've never made fun of him. Never made fun of him. Never made fun of my wife. Never made fun of her two sisters. 2 out of the 4 girls are, no, 3 out of the 4 girls were or are slightly overweight, big boned. My younger brother-in-law, who started to get a little big, I thank God that he didn't have to go through the issues of becoming obese. I just wish that his untimely departure from this world was under duress during the COVID crisis in New York and this whole country. But he survived a car wreck that most people his age would not, when it happened, would not have come out as fairly as he did. He did have he did end up having a rod and pins in his arm, and other issues that basically kept with him after the accident, like not aneurysms, but he would get blood clots and he would cough them up and be done and go about his business. But this particular last Thanksgiving when we were together, I helped, well, it was Alicia, which is my wife's one sister, basically all the girls, and I attempted to help out here and there, made Thanksgiving dinner, and the whole family gathered. Basically my in-laws, my older brother-in-law and his wife and 2 kids, my one sister-in-law, Alicia, and her 3 kids and husband. The only person who wasn't there was my sister-in-law, who lives out in Vegas. And we were all sitting there, and my older brother-in-law came downstairs, because he lived in the upstairs part of the house. It was a New York legal 2-family home, so there was a bottom part of the house and the top part of the house. Each part of the house had its own entrance point, and basically we split the bills as best as we could, because our living situation in New York was not as good as it is here. We were having even bigger money issues because the cost of living in New York is why anybody would want to live in places like that, where the cost of living is like here in Missouri. Well, let's just take it for instance, here in Missouri, and I know it's a big jump. Here in Missouri, a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house could run you anywhere from $350, $400 to $600, depending on the square footage and whatnot. The house that we were living in, basically my father-in-law's house, was basically the same equivalency but smaller. A 3-bedroom, 1-bath house, less of a footprint, less of a square footage. Could run over $1,000. Easily run. In fact, an apartment, a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment, depending on where it's located, can run you anywhere from $1,200 to $2,000 a month rent. So yeah, it's like, what? $1,200 to $2,000 here in Missouri to would be more than enough money to buy or put down a good down payment on a 3-bedroom, 1-bath cookie cutter type house. Narrow house, small bedrooms, small rooms, narrow hallway. Yeah, $2,000 I can easily buy, or not buy, put down a down payment on a small house like that. So it's kind of like, why would you want to live in a place that it's $1,200 to $2,000 for a studio apartment, basically a one bed, one bath, rinky dink apartment. It's not even a house; it's an apartment. But anyhow, my brother-in-law came downstairs for Thanksgiving, and he sat down. He said, "I have weighed myself, and I've lost." I forgot how much he said he lost. It was like 50 pounds or something like that. Not even 50 pounds. Without missing a beat for some reason that day, I just turned and looked at him and I was like, "Oh, so that's what I heard groaning this morning. It was your scale telling you to get the heck off." That's not that's not my normal personality, but for some reason that particular day, my brain went, nope, cannot hold it in anymore. After nearly 13 years of putting up with sarcasm and emotional distress and psychological put downs and physiological heartaches from my jobs, I just finally went, pop, there it goes. I can't, nope. That control mechanism just broke. But anyhow, I digress. Today is supposed to be a work day. We are going to continue working on the craft room, sorting through some of the stuff that was just laying around the craft room that we pulled out to go through this morning. I'm not sure. Well, I know this much. Jeri-Ann and I will work together, and we will take as many breaks as I feel necessary, or we feel necessary, because the reason why I said I is I don't know how much physical work I'm going to be doing. We right now have it set up where Jeri-Ann can come out and just start getting to work on the sorting process that we set up for her to do. She's probably going to ask me to do a lot of running around and moving stuff around, which no big deal. I figured while she's sorting stuff, that I might, I don't know what I'll do. I'll either just sit there and wait patiently for instructions, or I'll do what I did last time. Last time we did a project where she was sitting at the dining room table sorting through stuff. I sat on my computer playing Civilization, which is a game that I can easily walk away from without having to worry about consequences, because it's a turn-based game. Excuse me. But mentally, I'm ready to do the job. Physically, I don't know, because my knees, my feet have been irritating me. And I think one of the reasons why my feet have been irritating me is I need to, instead of taking a shower, which is what I normally do, I need to sit down in the bathtub and exfoliate the bottom of my feet, because they become dry and scratchy and irritable. One of the reasons why is this is the time of year I wear socks to bed, because my feet get colder than the rest of my body. Don't know why, just It's been that way probably my entire life. My feet and my hands are always cold during the wintertime. That's why I hold on to a cup of coffee, trying to keep my hands warm or warm them up. Which brings me to a interesting point in my life. And I know a lot of you like hearing some of my adventures of life. Well, here's what today's video is going to be. Besides just a chit chat video, it's going to be a quick look at my past. In my mid to late teens, shortly after my father passed away, I started having, I'm gonna call them dreams. I don't want to call them visions, because some of the dreams slash visions that I was having in my nights and my dreams, my sleep period. When I think about it, sometimes they don't get scary. I get worried about some of them. But I'm gonna tell you a story that my dad told my mom, and my mom told me. Mom had told me that one day when she went to go visit my father in the hospital, before he passed away, that he told her. Now, the word that I thought I heard was, he had a dream where he was a paraplegic. Basically, he had lost both legs due to the blood clotting and whatnot. And he was in front of a crowd of people giving a speech, a seminar or something along that lines, where he was trying to tell people, even though that he lost his legs, that he still is capable of doing more than enough. Which was my father's attitude all the time, was no matter what the situation, no matter how injured you are, no matter how hurting you are, you still can move forward and get things accomplished. Well, now we're going to jump ahead about a year and a half. I had a dream one night where, not that I lost my legs, but lost my feet. Basically, I had gotten injured and had to have both my feet amputated. And not that I was in a seminar giving a speech or anything like that. I never had that dream. But after I had lost my feet and gotten a pair of artificial limbs, or artificial feet, basically, I was still quite capable of running. In fact, with the artificial feet and whatnot, I seemed to be able to run faster. And now that oh, big truck. I was like, what the heck's that noise? Now here I am, 30 some odd years later. I would love to be able to run as fast as I used to as a kid. I've lost my speed. I've lost my stamina, and at times I seem to be losing strength of lungs. And I sit there and I think to myself, why is this happening? Why do I still have this weird feeling? Every so often I have this weird feeling that my feet are not my feet. They're not even, I don't even feel them. Like, I lost sensation in my feet, which I know is not true, because I still have these pins and needle feelings. But I sometimes wonder what happened between the dream and today, and I think to myself, well, I can answer that. One, between living with my mom most of my life, breathing in her secondhand smoke, and the fact that late teens, early 20s, I smoked myself. I didn't smoke cigarettes. I smoked what they call cigarellos. Some people might know the brand name Swisher Sweets. The fact that they had a sweet taste instead of a nasty tar taste, and I am 100% sure that they soaked them in something sugary or sweet because of the flavor of the tobacco and the filter itself. Didn't taste like anything like I attempted to smoke Marlboro Reds, and no, thank you. The original Marlboros, not the newer Marlboros. I thank God that combination of my doctor and just the fact that I didn't like the way I felt if I smoked more than 2 cigarillos a day, the difficulty with breathing and whatnot, and I just kind of realized shouldn't be smoking as much. And it probably wasn't until shortly after getting married to Jeri-Ann and whatnot, and hearing her stories about her family and whatnot, I just kind of went, yeah, I'm having enough trouble breathing in New York without the cigarettes because of all the pollutants in the air, so I think I'll just quit. And I think especially during a certain period of time in my life, like a lot of people, smoking was a stress reliever. It was something to do to try to get rid of stress. I just stopped. I just said, you know what, I'm done. So I just cold turkey, just cold turkey quit. The one thing I should quit, but I can't seem to quit because of the fact that it's an energy boost, is Mountain Dew. Drinking Mountain Dew not only gives me an energy boost, wakes me up a little bit, it gives me, there's a lot of positive sides on the outside, but the negative aspect is the sugar content. That sugar content is probably what's going to be my downfall, if anything, when it comes to drinking that soda. In fact, I might be running out here in a little bit to get one just to to get through the day. But yeah, I didn't talk about this yet. The tapestry is back. It was down to, I don't know if I talked about this. I'm sorry. If I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. It was down for a short period of time while we were trying to clean up in here. And Jeri-Ann actually gave me the idea to take a couple clothespins and just use the clothespins to hang it off the curtain behind me. What we're hoping to do, or what I'm hoping to do, even though it looks pretty good right there, and if the clothespins stay, I'll just leave it as is. But I also like the fact that the red curtain is shining through it. It gives it a interesting ambiance. And the other question that was asked me this morning, what happened to the beard bead? Well, I can't do the beard bead myself. I want to buy, there's a kit that can be bought on Amazon.com that is basically a beard bead kit, and it comes with a bunch of beads and what looks like a weird plastic needle, big long plastic needle. And what that is you're supposed to be able to take, once you twist the beard, you're supposed to be able to take the open end, the eye, and put it over the beard like so, slip it and slip the needle part into the beard bead itself, and just pull it through, so you pull the beard through. Otherwise, I wait for Jeri-Ann. In fact, I'm thinking tonight we're supposed to do her craft room, and then we're supposed to, I thought I'd put the picture at the end of one of my videos, but one of my videos has a picture of a hairstyle. And basically what it is the hairstyle is you take your hair up, and my hair is not long enough, up into like a ponytail. And you're supposed to tie it back, and then the sides are supposed to be shaved. And then I want to trim at least the sideburns, or what do they call this area? The lamb chop region. Why they call it lamb chop, I don't know. But I want to trim this up, maybe have her put my hair in a tail, and then just trim the very tips to get rid of the split ends and whatnot. So hopefully I can promote more growth, because I do want it to be a little bit longer. Currently at my job, Dickies, I have two jobs for those who don't know. I have Dickies, which is my primary job. It will be my first job. It will be that way until things hit the fan, which I'll tell you something about work here in a second. I asked my supervisor, Debbie, who's basically the primary boss, if I keep this neat and contained and under control, is it okay for me to have my beard? I do want to trim this up. I didn't tell her I was going to trim this up, but I do want to trim it up and make it look a little bit better. And she said, as long as we don't get any complaints with hair being, finding hair, beard hair and whatnot in my food, or customers' food, not my food, customers' food. I said, okay, between the mask, I have two different masks that literally cover everything. Basically it covers everything, from the nose, the bridge of my nose, to my chin. Like, it literally wraps under my chin. So those two masks help me keep my hair under control. I just have to try to make sure I maintain a clean mask, so I don't have problems, and it don't look like a mess. In fact, I'm not going to go to that. I'm not going to go to the other room to get the mask, but one of them was a gift from a friend, and it's it's Harry Potter. It's the Mariah's Map type mask, and then the other one looks like a tie-dye. It looks like, the tie-dye colors is not your normal everyday tie-dye. It's like blue and pink and purple and white, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, that's going to be a backup mask when the Harry Potter mask is too dirty for me to wear at work, because I don't want to have to go, it was a gift, somebody thought I liked tie-dye. My other masks, which are very small, they barely cover that much. They probably shrank over time due to washing and whatnot, which is fine. I'm actually thinking about going and looking for either somebody who can make the big masks. Let's see here. Jeri got a bunch of them when she went to Georgia after Christmas with her friend Lisa, and came back with them. Somebody in Georgia made them or whatever and gave them to Jeri. I might have to get a hold of Lisa and say, hey, who was the one who made those masks, the Harry Potter and the Friends, the old TV show Friends masks? Because if she can make a couple of them for me, I'd be willing to throw a couple dollars their way. And then my second job is basically DoorDash. Now, I recently did some DoorDashing on one of my free days, unscheduled. It was like a busy day, and I just said, okay, I'll work. And I picked up a couple orders, made a couple dollars. It wasn't that much. And then when I made the money and I looked at it and went, okay, so it's not by the hour. There is no hourly wage. It is basically, your wages are a certain amount of money from the actual order itself, plus the tip, calculated in their mileage, and being everything here in Rolla is like 5 minutes away from each other, basically 5 minutes away from everything. Mileage isn't that big. So I've made so far under $20. And come Saturday, And you can schedule times too. You can pick a scheduled time, or you can just pick up some time, some DoorDashes during rush hours, during peak hours. So Saturday I have a scheduled time from 5:30 to 7:30, and then 11 p.m. to midnight on Saturday. Since I'm off Sunday, I figured, sure, why not? Downside is last Sunday, and this is going to be a Saturday night. So Saturday night, who knows how it's going to be? But the one Sunday I picked, my first time trying to do it, I picked 11 p.m. to no 11:30 p.m. to 12:30 midnight. And let's just say there was nothing because it was dead, which I should have figured, because Sunday night after probably 10 p.m. most people are going to be like done for the day, trying to go to bed so they can get up and go to school and work and all that fun stuff on Monday. Well, I guess we've got a lot more Door Dashers in Rolla than I thought, because I recently looked at the scheduling aspect of DoorDash, and I was going to schedule myself to do some door dashing on my free days, which would have been Sunday and Thursday. I'm actually going to be working 5 days this next week. I have Sunday and Thursday off. Well, I looked, and the only current available time frames for any day of this coming week is basically midnight to 4 a.m. And I'm like, midnight to 4 a.m. here in Rolla? The only thing that's open at that time of day in this small little town is McDonald's, the Waffle House, and maybe Denny's. And I'm like, who's going to be up between midnight and 4 a.m. and wanting food? Oh, the overnight workers, and unfortunately, people with munchies. Now, if you know anything about what I mean by the munchies, there's something that causes those munchies, and it's usually something I don't want to be around, aka drugs. But that's basically the only hours currently available, because they put out a week's worth of schedules, like pick your schedule and you get it. But I also learned from a couple of different Door Dashers that sometimes it's best not to even schedule yourself, especially if you want to do it per diem. It's best to just like between 10:30 a.m. to during the peak hours, lunch and dinner rushes. Basically, it is best to basically just jump on your phone, see if the border of the area that you live in, they put a border around it. If that's red, that means they're very busy and it's peak hours. Just click on the Dash Now button, and you can just go dashing until your heart's content, or until basically they run out of, it's no longer busy type deal. So I'm learning a lot of new things about DoorDash and whatnot. And I found out from one of the dashers after my last time I went dashing, that I was scheduled to go dashing. Take every order you can, because if you basically don't accept X number of orders in a row, or during your, if you don't accept a bunch of different orders throughout the day or throughout your scheduled time, it's not a heavy duty penalty like I lose money. I'll be losing money anyhow if I don't do anything. But it's one of those things where they basically stop letting you schedule your own times, and you just have to be smart and lucky enough to hit the Dash Now button during peak hours. And we had one kid who was just starting, just like me, and I was talking about dashing and whatnot, doing DoorDash, and how that sometimes around here in Raleigh there's not enough work because there's too many dashers out and about, and that the best one I've done so far was picking up at Panera. And he was basically telling us, yeah, I just started and I'm not going to pick it. I'm not going to accept anything under X amount of dollars. And I just kind of went, well, that I can understand because you're looking for the high end orders and whatnot. But you would think, like me, I'm going to be like, every order I can, I'm going to do it. In fact, Jeri-Ann and I had talked about doing it together. That way, she can drive and I don't have to worry about sitting in my car hitting buttons before I go to deliver, or having to worry about hitting buttons after I deliver to grab the next order. So our plan is to do it together a couple times and see what happens. And basically, I'm going to be the one operating the phone and picking up, running the orders to and from. So she'll just be the driver. But otherwise, it's not that hard to do. I mean, it really is not that hard to do. Oh, no. Okay. Well, I guess today is just going to be an update of what's been going on around here. This particular video. Depending on how I feel later, depends on what I'm going to do. Whether I do a video of just the Viking myths or not. It was either Shelly or Neely. Hopefully, you know what? I'm sorry, girls. I know I'm probably mispronouncing one of your names. Not Shelly, Sheila and Nelly. There, I tried to correct myself. One of you asked about doing when we're going to do our next live video. And I know a lot of you asked for live videos on either Friday or Saturday night because 9 times out of 10, that's when you're able to jump on and join. I'm going to try to do one soon. I know my videos have been a little sporadic or whatever. It's because of the fact I forget to put them on. That's my bad. But yeah, I'm going to talk to the wife and see if she wants to try to do a live later on. If she doesn't want to, I might just do one myself. I would like to do one with her, but it depends on how she feels. Anywho, I'm going to head and end this because it was a long one. So, yeah. Here we go. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, try to keep them as positive as possible because I've already said it once, I'm going to say it again. I'm not dealing with the negative stuff anymore. So let's try to keep things positive because that's what we need in this world right now. We need more positive energy because there's been just way, especially here in the States, there's been way too much negativity. And I'm not going to go into it because, in fact, I just don't want to draw out the video. So, yeah. If you have any positive questions or comments, go ahead and put them in the comment box. I will do my best to answer them in one way, shape, or form. If you're new to my channel and you're going to be a positive influencer, because I like positive influencers, go ahead and join. If you join just because you liked some of this video or like some of my other videos, that's great. Awesome. Go for it. After you click the subscribe button, a little bell will pop up, and that bell will let you know when I put in the YouTube will let you know when I put in a new video. Until next time, God bless. Have a good day. Bye.